Welcome back to the Gold League for World of Tanks. I'm Clutch, joined on the set by Rookkill. And we saw Simp take down the Cazadores 2-0 after 2 draws in that series. And next up is Sperglords versus Refuse to Die. Background of Sperglords and Refuse to Die. Both teams right now are 2-3. Sperglords lost against Nerve. Refuse to Die won against Nerve. Those are the last 2 series. Both these gentlemen need to win 2 games. These next 2 matches in order to have a chance to make it into the top 8. If they do not, they still may have a chance based on tiebreakers and playoffs. However, you want to play for more of the guarantee rather than the up-in-the-air scenario. So this is a huge, huge series for both these teams here. We'll paint a better picture of which one can possibly make it to the top 8. Refuse to Die, I don't believe, has ever made it to a finals.
They were in Season 1. They were not able to join us in Season 2, but they are back in Season 3, and there's still a chance for them.
There is still a chance. Let's go ahead and kick it off with our face-off for these 2 players. The team captains of Sperglords, RJ, and Refuse to Die is a bag of kittens. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey guys,
Good evening.
All right. Bag of kittens, morale is low for the team, but you're in Season 3, or you're back for Season 3 from Season 1. It's been a tough road, but you're still in the fight. Now you're up against Sperglords. You know they can bleed. You know they can bleed because they lost to Nerve. You guys defeated Nerve. So your thoughts, your feelings for where you are at right now as a team.
Actually, I would say morale improved quite a bit after the Nerve win, just because it was a big win for us. We put in a lot of time the night before. We had the 3 matches in a row. We lost 2 and then came to the 3rd day, put in a lot of work, and came out and won it, and that really helped. Going forward, though, against Sperglords, it's not our first time meeting them. We fought them in the first round of the playoffs, and they were actually the underdog. Like, they were, I think, 8th seed or 7th seed, and we were 2nd seed. And they kicked the crap out of us on Himmelsdorf. So, I mean, it's a good team. I think this is going to be a good match. So that's my thoughts going into this. It's a fun team to play. We've played them a few times.
All right. Sperglords, we've had you multiple times talk about, it's your first experience being part of the league. Now that you're 2-3, what is the goal of the team right now? What is your guys' focus? Is it match by match? Are you still going, we can make it to the finals, we got to push for the finals? Where are you at mentally as a team?
I think we're just taking it match by match right now. Yes, back in this behind the scenes in our heads, we think we can make it, but we still have so much to learn, and we're inconsistent. I mean, one night we show up and we can. I mean, as Skittens was saying, we can play against the best teams and win, and then, as we saw in the majors, we can show up and play against the worst team and lose. So we still have so much to learn and so far to go. So, yeah, so just taking it one match at a time.
That's one of the biggest things you'll find in any type of competition is to be consistent. And any team will tell you that in the Gold League. Well, do you have any words for Refuse to Die before we start this match?
Much respect to Kittens. I mean, we've talked before. We've scrimmed against each other. He's a good guy, and they're a good team. Best of luck. I hope we learn a lot.
Bag of Kittens, any response?
Yeah, I think really, that sums it up. This is going to be... I think platooning with Wallhacks, one of their players earlier, and may have gotten in some trouble. But I think we came to the agreement. Neither one of us expects this to be a 3-0 one side or the other. We expect it to be a good fight. At least that's what we're thinking. So,
Sperglords, you have the higher seed. Heads or tails on the coin flip?
We'll go with tails.
Tails is the call, and the flip will be tails. So, Sperglords, map choice or defer?
We'll defer.
They will defer. And
Sounds
Refuse
like
to
a
Die. Refuse to Die, map choice.
I think we'll go to Cliff.
Cliff will be the first map, and spawn location, Sperglords.
We will go south on Cliff.
Okay, that wasn't a question. Statement. South on Cliff for Sperglords. North will be Refuse to Die. Gentlemen, when it comes to any sort of competition, a true leader and a true team is measured not by the easy times, but the tough times. I commend you both, and stick to it.
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Clutch.
I came up with that on the fly too, guys.
Clutch feels like being wise tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He's like,
when
sensei.
When our
yes.
face-off camera's not working, I'm like, oh, I better say something cool because they're looking at me. But we do apologize about that, guys. And don't worry, the coin happens in the back. They tell us in the earpiece. We're not just coming up with the coin flip in our minds. So we were told what the coin flip is in case anyone's like, hey, wait a second.
Hey.
He said heads, or he said heads. Oh, yeah, it's heads. No, it's done. It's done correctly by the admin. Don't worry. Well, before we jump into the battle, I want to give a little shout-out to Crafty Gaming. He sent in this picture on Twitter, and there you go. It's the KV-2 gun on a TOG 2. This is for you, Rukill.
I love it. Thank you so much. I've seen one of these. Someone did one like this before, but it's cool to see it again. Thank you so much, Crafty Gaming.
Yep.
That's my dream right there. That tank.
Beautiful.
That turret on top of the most majestic tank in all of World of Tanks.
We will send you a gold code for that, my friend. If you already have a gold code from us, then all you have to do is give it to a friend. Play World of Tanks with your buddies. I have a couple of friends that are just getting into World of Tanks and World of Warplanes, and you know, for them it's kind of tough to catch up not only to my tier level but also to my skill. I'm arrogant. No, but it's easier for them to catch up when they do have a premium tank or a premium plane if you play World of Warplanes, because you can play in the same tier. And nothing can replace experience. There is no magic wand that can replace experience. But what really helps is gold rounds. It really helps a lot. But also to have a premium account or premium time. And when you have those premium tanks, which you guys can win by hitting that follow button in the corner, we're going to give out a premium tier 8 tank to one of the followers once we reach 7,000. And also, bets are open. The face-off has ended, so the betting is open for 3 minutes. And you can win a Type 59 tank. You'll be the envy of many people in pub games. I don't know if you can use a tank in Clan Wars.
You can,
but
it's not going to work out for you because it's up against tier 10.
It'd be tough.
It'd be bad.
But you can win that tank if you perform.
You can use
the
it
best.
in you can use it in tank companies, and you can use it in 742 play.
Yeah.
So of course, Type 59 isn't really meta, but if you are playing and you're good enough and you just feel like you can roll people even with a T59, I mean, you're making money and you're styling in a T59.
That's right.
I mean,
right. All you have to do is just
no cons.
have the highest amount of points in the betting system, and the winner will be announced at the end of Season 3. That's all you have to do. Yeah. So continue to stay involved. We appreciate the chat. Continue to be involved in that, and also you guys explaining to the new people that show up, hey, what is World of Tanks? What is a 7x42? Who are these two handsome men on the desk talking about video games and stuff blowing up? We do appreciate that.
Yeah.
But we can only do so much, man. Just you and I against the world.
I don't know if we can take them on, but we'll have to try.
We'll try. Well, tell me about Cliff.
Well, I don't expect anything too spectacular. T1's probably going to go off and meet somewhere in the west. I'm not sure if I expect anyone to kind of take the little ramp up. That could happen from either team, but I'm feeling like they're going to shy away. I don't think teams want to do that right now.
Yeah, it's you get caught in a section you don't want to be. It's time for battle number 1 of match number 3 of the Sperglords versus Refuse to Die on Cliff. Let's battle.
And as we take a look at the lineups, we're going to see something similar to what we've seen out of Refuse to Die before. Refuse to Die in the red will be bringing in Object 416, 2 Pershings, T69, and 1390. I think they're going to camp up in the north, be very defensive, and they're going to use that 416 to snipe, with the 1390 Valkyrie Vewas to get into a forward position. We saw that against, who was it against? That was against Nerf.
Position of this Pershing.
War 2 Fanatic is spotted. Anubis is spotted.
Lozaris, he gets a big hit against him. Lozaris down to 686, Anubis at 955. Lozaris still has that burst damage. Anubis has to be careful.
But if Anubis can play it right around this rock with 56 seconds left, I expect Anubis could win. However, there is a push coming in the south.
There is. I'm going to stay with Lozaris and Anubis.
All right, I'm going to go check out that fight. Chronic Pain's taking a few hits. We've got Candyman moving in, and shots going out, but System Rename is taking some damage. System Rename 861, Candyman 784. Everyone is taking a little bit of damage. There's 30 seconds left. There's still time to get kills, although to the northwest, Wallhacks and Chronic Pain are too low. They cannot stay in this fight. Shots going out. World War II Fanatic taking down. And now more fire coming out. Bag of Kittens engaging with Candyman down to 86. And he will have to back off. There goes Valkyrie Vewas.
And Lozaris wins that little firefight.
And now Bag of Kittens is actually being engaged on 7 seconds left. There's time yet for the kill. System Rename, though, looks to be reloading. And actually, T69, Pershing gets the kill just in time, but it's a draw. One tier 8 lives.
It is a draw. Well, the firefight was happening, but not in time, as one tier 8 was left alive for Refuse to Die. We're going to take a break. When we come back, a little bit of more analysis of Cliff, and also to find out what the next battle will be on. Stay tuned. You're watching the Gold League for World of Tanks. Welcome back to the Gold League for World of Tanks. I'm Clutch, joined by Rootkill. And it was a draw on Cliff. The firefight got close. They had one tier 8 left to go, but just could not seal the deal. When, in my opinion, when they saw that tier 8 AMX 1390 come and kill the T1 of the South, push aside.
Maybe, but the thing is, you got to cross an open field. We saw how much damage the Sperglord tanks took when they crossed. It was a little bit dangerous. They did have an overmatch a little bit in the north. There was that 1390 Lazarus. He just made a distraction of himself. He pulled away at Pershing. He also pulled away that 416 for a little bit. But Refuse to Die's position is just too tough. They're playing it slow. They're camping it. They're playing it slow, and they're going for that draw. And Sperglords did what they could. Lazarus got out 2,300 damage even in that battle. He did what he could, but you saw how much he was just driving around as much as he could. He couldn't get enough shots onto those positions. Just too difficult.
No, that's very true, but you have that west side, which is not an open field unless it's at north and south, and one of those Pershings, maybe two, could have decided to come down and then come up from behind. You want to try to spread the danger.
Yeah.
Because if you can spread that danger and you have fire from two sides incoming,
but remember, you do split yourself up, and you're also putting yourself in the low ground.
Yeah.
If you're going over to the west side, which is dangerous.
Yeah.
Lazarus can rejoin the group.
Or they could have, if they did see that, moved down further south and found that 1390 and executed it. And then what happens is, oh no, they're firing our 1390, send one of the tanks in the middle, even less danger in the center, and so you could readjust. Again, this is from our viewpoint, guys, from we see as commentators. They don't see the same thing as we do, but nobody in war sees the same thing as your enemy does. You have to visualize it, imagine it, and then act off that.
It's just really difficult, though, because the safest move sometimes is just to let that draw happen. Refuse to Die.
It's true.
Brought a slower lineup. They played it slower. They had nice positions that easily defended their own cap. Also prevented a lot of attacks from succeeding. And Sperglords did what they could to counter out one of the positions. And when they did that, pulling that Pershing in one of the central positions out, it did make it so it was possible for that win to happen, I think. But it took too long. In 10 minutes, they just couldn't do it.
Next battle will take place on Abbey. First time we're seeing this map this week so far. We saw it a number of times last week. It's not the most popular map that is chosen, but when it is chosen, it comes down to sometimes a coin flip of which alley you choose. And with the Cazadores, they usually choose what we saw from their type of play style the last 6 months is the east side, but they changed it up last time. It's still a loss against Game Over, but it was a nice change-up coming out of Cazadores. All right, it's time for Abbey battle number 2. Sperglords versus Refuse to Die. Let's battle.
And looking at the tanks, we see on the blue team, Sperglords, 5100, Pershing, 69, and 2 1390s on the other side. The AMX 5100, IS-3s, 2 of them, and Foster Kid will take a T69, a bag of kittens in the 1390. Interesting lineups. A lot slower, though, from Refuse to Die. I'm wondering where they're... I think they're going to go west, probably, with those IS-3s. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, west seems like a lot of sense for Refuse to Die.
Oh, part France, part America.
They're just kind of in a standoff
Team
position.
French Fries, Candyman, and Lazarus backing up here. Now here comes the push. Around the corner, they're waiting for the window. IS-3 takes a hit. They're going to focus on that 1390. Anubis rams into the wall. Ooh, he is low, but behind him's Fosta Kid. That a kid, Fosta Kid in the T69.
Oh,
from
big
behind.
ram from Colonel Angus, too.
38 seconds left with 3 tanks to destroy. And all 3 tanks are here, and they're actually destroying a lot.
Lazarus into 160, but there goes Fosta Kid. Big losses. Now there are 2 tier 8s left for Refuse to Die. Not able to get ahead in this fight. 23 seconds left. Colonel Angus puts a shot on the system rename. Colonel Angus don't have enough time to deal enough damage, and Valkyrie Vewas is on reload. Refuse to Die cannot win. They have to go for the draw. Or Sperglords can possibly win, but no, never mind. Sorry, guys. I spoke too soon.
Nope, 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1 draw scenario for these teams once again, but still trying to lock down that position with that IS-3 for a while. Or whether IS-3 was. Not a bad play from Sperglords, just that Pershing got lined up by the 1390. But once the reset happened, you're under fire. You got to move. You can't stay in the same spot.
Poor wall hacks.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
wall hacks.
Yeah.
Take a quick commercial break. We come back. Battle number 3 of Sperglords versus Refuse to Die. Stay tuned. You're watching the Gold League for World of Tanks. Welcome back to the Gold League. Throwback Thursdays. We saw our old intern, Terry, asking some people local about World of Tanks. And that was a fun segment when it was first there, but it feels like forever ago. When we saw
It has been forever ago. He showed up a week after I did, which has been 7 months, maybe almost 8. We're going on 8 now, I think. Yeah, think about it, Clutch.
Wow.
That's how long I've been here.
I know when we were putting together how many segments we've done. I've done over 60 segments.
You just pump them out, though, Clutch. You're just like chugging along on
Yeah.
segments. I don't know how you do it. Magic.
I don't know either, man. All right, here we go. It's going to be on Ensk for the map of battle number 3 of Refuse to Die versus Sperglords.
Taking a look at the tanks, we see 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, a 1390. And on the other side, it's going to be the same thing. Both teams with mirror lineups.
But will they mirror the approach they're going to bring, the side they're going to choose?
Think about it. 1390 is probably going to meet at that, down to the 5-6 line. Towards the middle, maybe. But I am seeing east side movement from Sperglords. Oh, not even Lazarus is going to look at the 5-6 line. Maybe RJ will do it. RJ's going to look towards the 5-6 line. And with that, he may actually spot. There's a weird opening run from a bag of kittens.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's a bag of kittens, right? And
Yeah.
the 1390 in the middle. No,
No.
that's a T1. Who's that T1?
Quasiar.
Quasiar,
He's
you
in this
are
bush.
bold.
He's in this bush going, hey, you know what? I like this statue, and if it's the last thing I see, I'm going to be proud of it.
I think Ensk is modeled after
Minsk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And that's a statue. I think you can see almost that same statue. Go on over to that statue.
Pretty much exact same statues
Yeah.
in Minsk.
I think the base is a different. I don't think it's made of brick, but that's the Lenin monument kind of thing.
Is that Lenin?
Yeah. Get close. You can see the Lenin face. See? That's Lenin.
He wants to shake your hand, guys. Shake his hand. Nice to meet you, Mr. Lennon.
I don't think you would shake Lenin's hand.
I love your music with the Beatles.
What? Clutch.
Wrong, Lennon.
You're silly. That would oh my gosh, you actually think about that if you showed up to him and then oh my god, no, he wouldn't know who that was though.
Okay.
It just doesn't matter.
It's all right. It's all right. He took an ice pick to the head. Very sad story.
But Sperglords,
Dragons, here we go. Where you at? All
Sperglords
right.
moving on up. They got phone on the T1 moving up, kind of jumping up with Lazarus. Lazarus, I guess, has decided to be the main scout of Sperglords, although he's done a little scouting here and there. Doesn't get to do it. He feels like a real flexible kind of player. He's just going to find every angle he can, look for those weak points. We can expect to see Lazarus playing the flanks a lot. Saw that on Cliff all the time. He was just searching for shots constantly. Unfortunately, couldn't find him. Refuse to Die, though, playing really slow.
Yeah, I want to remind everyone how crucial this series is, this match is for both these teams. Sperglords and Refuse to Die, both 2 and 3. If they lose, one of them obviously has to lose. We have to have a winner. If they lose, they're out. They're probably 99% not going to make it to the top 8. The team that wins, and if they're able to win their following match, they got a shot.
Yep.
A
But
possible
also,
shot.
don't forget they have to also fight for relegation.
Exactly.
The bottom teams, some of them get just booted out without getting a chance to fight for their spot. They have to come back through they have to come back through the leagues, or they have to re-qualify in the open qualifier. And that's getting tougher and tougher each season. The team that wins here has a better chance of securing their spot in Season 4, which is a big deal. They really need that spot if they want to stay pro, or else they have to do a whole lot of work, a real mountain of work, when they've already made it once. It's a lot of pressure. You really want to get those wins. Refuse to Die, though, plays very slowly right now. I don't know why they're doing that. It's not a fan of that slow play. It doesn't feel all that reactive because they're not jumping on anything. They've been they sat still on Cliff. Abby, they were flexing around a little bit, but I don't think they had a setup that really was practical on that map. now on Ansk. It's a practical lineup, makes a lot of sense, and they're playing a very traditional defensive position. That the Delta, what is that, Delta 4 courtyard? That strat is it's a good strat. Although this T1, I like that. I like that T1.
Which one? Quasar?
Yeah.
In the bush?
It's new. You don't see that a lot at all.
We're
really,
called the Lenin strat.
Lenin strat. T1 to the statue.
Hard gun in the T1. He is performing just hiding the bush close to the flag cap strat. There is no scientific name for it. This is what it's called.
Crouching tank, hidden T1.
Well played.
Yes.
Well played, Randall.
Yes.
Well, this is going to be another standstill for a while, guys, because the scouting information is just not clear for either team. Your T1s are holding back, but if you look, however, where Sperglords is, they're in a section to pounce. They're in an area where they could pounce, but they don't know where Refuse to Die is, and that is half the battle. Knowing where your enemy is, you know where
The
to
other
fire.
half is red and blue lasers.
That's right. That's right. I don't mean to turn on the John Madden here, but trying to get into the mentality of these.
Turn on the John Madden clutch. Go.
Now we're seeing the 1390. He's got to move to the south, and he's got to try to take down any of these tanks he can see. And if he's able to do that, and if he has the ball in his possession, that's what we call a touchdown. And he's able to get one. A T1 does fall. Now T1 is a T1 Cunningham. That is a tank that's used for eyes and ears here. That's about as much as I can do. Because that is a first blood. Nice job by Bag of Kittens. Should have shut down some.
Quasar spotted. And he's out in the open. Nowhere to hide. Lazarus 0 in the shot. Can't hide behind Lenin. It's not allowed.
I think I was doing more of a Frank Caliendo impression of
Frank Caliendo's impression of John Madden.
Yeah.
Oh, hired gun goes down.
Shots fired on both sides.
What?
Valkyrie Viewers takes down the T1, and now here's the push coming out of Sperglords, the blue team. And how is Red going to respond? Refuse to Die, moving to the north. The spread of damage. These 5100s is big. Gets back Kittens at 1390, but Fosta Kid takes a chunk out of Chronic Pain. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Lozaris misses a shot against Fosta Kid.
Well, he's got enough shots to finish him off. Fosta Kid down to 10, 7, 72, 4, 64. And
Comes to
two more.
5100, and they do take him down. Bag of Kittens in the 1390, shooting from far away. Valkyrie Viewers takes a hit in his 1390. I'm going to get up closer here as World War II Fanatic in his 5100. Still a little bit of a range shot as Anubis is close enough in the 5100 for a brawl mode.
Oh, Anubis could get jumped on here. Both IS-3s. Oh, they go for shots on whoever that is in the north.
And here comes it. Oh, Anubis stops. He doesn't go for it.
World War II Fanatic against 605.
Anubis just hesitated a little long there to go for that shot. There's one.
But here's a Bag of Kittens. He's going to go down 271, 255, and 19.
19. He could still live. He could still live.
Chronic Pain's going to go for it, though.
No, Chronic got it. It's Anubis and Valkyrie Viewers back to back, holding the line between all these tanks from Sperglords, and now he's on the run. Candyman, turning the turret, gonna get the shot. Nope, Anubis is able to get out there in time. Wall hacks in the IS-3, down 48. Anubis is out of shots. Valkyrie Viewers now completely surrounded. Anubis is on the run, 3 minutes and 6 seconds. 2 heavy tanks alive. 4 refuse to die. 5, all 5 tier 8 tanks still alive. Well, now there's another one that fell. And Anubis, the last one. IS-3 from wall hacks.
You should
Sees
be
the
reloaded.
shot.
Anubis, you got this, right?
Oh,
no?
from behind. Nope.
Oh.
Wall hacks gets the final kill. And there we have a point on the board for Sperglords.
There we go. That's what they needed. Made that happen. Got the T1s killed. After they got those very early, by the way, relative to the other maps, of course. After that, they made the push right across their opponent's cap. They couldn't Refuse to Die couldn't afford to ignore that. And well, just better brawl by Sperglords.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, the series continues in battle number 4 between the Sperglords and Refuse to Die. You're watching the Gold League. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Gold League for World Tanks. Welcome back, I should say. Sperglords versus Refuse to Die. Have a point on the board for Sperglords and 2 draws, which means that turned into a best-of-3 scenario. Sperglords wins or draws out in this next map. It's a win for the Sperglords.
Actually, if they draw, there's still a chance, though. We have one more battle after
true.
that.
Yeah, we can go to a shootout. And then
there's still the possibility of that if this goes to a draw. It's Ruinberg. There's we could see. Depends on which way these teams go. Interesting strat from Simp earlier today. From the north side of the map, actually going to the west, playing the city side, then trying to book it south. Didn't work out because Cazadores actually made a really smart move. They actually put pressure on their opponent's cap, forcing the return from every member of Simp and stopping their aggression, because Simp actually tried something very different, something we usually don't see from the north side. South side playing something also very different. Usually the north goes to the west side and to the east side, and the south goes to the west side. That time we saw something different. Maybe a shift in the meta somewhere in the wind, I don't know.
Somewhere in the wind.
I don't know. I was like, shift, wind, I don't know.
Something somewhere in the wind.
Somewhere out there, there's a
Just
shift in the
around
meta.
river bend.
I can
I'm thinking
smell
my
it.
canoe, man. Just because I'm Native American doesn't mean I know. Well, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it
I know
does.
I know a lot about nature. And
And
stuff.
you also have every song in Pocahontas memorized, right?
Almost.
Almost.
Well, that's
Come
the
on.
one that sticks out the most.
Because it's a really good song.
It is really good.
Yeah, everything.
Well,
like-
funny story about Disney, real
Mhm.
quick. They had two teams putting together stories for the next movies. They had their A team and their B team. Obviously, the A team, you know, just the A team. And so the A team goes, hey, let's do the history of America. John Smith and Pocahontas and, you know, colonizing America and the fight for gold. It'd be a good story. Yeah, let's do it. The B team. Let's do Hamlet, but with lions. And Elton John will do the music. Go! Guess which movie was way more successful?
B team.
The B team, The Lion King.
Because they got Elton
The
John.
Lion King.
I mean, and he was on Tarzan with the Backstreet Boys, I think.
What?
Didn't Elton John and the Backstreet Boys do music for Tarzan?
No, that was Phil Collins.
I thought they got Backstreet Boys in on that.
I
think they got a boy band
I
in
don't
on
know.
that. I think I remember
it's
something
time
about
for
that.
battle number 4 for Sperglords and Refuse to Die. Ruinberg will be the map.
I'll prove it to you, Clutch. I'll look it up and I'll prove it to you. At least I know the boy band part about that. But, thanks. Oh, hey, Chronic Pain's got a 90 mil on his 5100. System rename with 100. 122s. Yeah, everything's normal there. That's weird. We're going to see Chronic Pain with a 90 mil on his 5100 here. IS 1380 Lazarus. On the other side, Bag Kittens, Anubis 1390s. And 416, T32, and T69. Dr. Vewas also taking the 90 mil on his T32. Interesting from Chronic Pain to bring the 90. Yep, and you can see the gun looks a little different, guys. Any of you who recognize the 5100 gun will see that looks different. I'll go show you. I'll prove it to you.
He will prove it.
I'll go prove it. Here's Chronic Pain. See that? And here's System Rename. Look at that muzzle brake. It's also a bigger gun. If you can't tell. Chronic Pain.
I'm watching Anubis in a 1390 in his scouting run. He is going to see Lozaris in his 1390, not reloaded yet for the shots. Chronic Pain and Wallhacks is scouted as well for Anubis. Nice scouting run. Does Lozaris see anything else?
Not really.
Well,
Bag Kittens is it.
Lozaris saw the shot that came towards him. Now it's a first hit.
Well, he didn't
Was
see it
able
in
to
time
land.
because he took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's shot coming at him.
Got to back off.
Anubis.
And, whoa, they're
taking
spotting
on
in
some
the.
fences.
There's a T1 fight.
And Hired Gun wins the T1 fight.
Nice right there.
He
Didn't
barely
even take
took any
long.
damage. Oh, he takes the shot from the other T1 on the
Flank.
left side.
Flanking
Phonon
T1.
trying to take him down. Hired Gun, however, does not fall. Phonon at 115 out of 115.
Yeah, the ground's a little raised somewhere between them, and it makes it difficult to make those shots happen. Phonon did make enough connect to the point where Hired Gun will go down easily if he begins engagement. And he's actually going to go for it. Hired Gun's just booking it in.
Shot fire from Lozaris, way far away in that 1390. Can he get another one? He does, just in time. Takes down the T1. That is a T1 trade-off for both teams. Refuse to die in Sperglords.
Although Laws could get the other T1 if he feels like getting aggressive, but he's not going to. Backing off. Safe move. Safe move. Bag Kittens gets spotted in the meantime and takes fire from the middle. That's Chronic Pain, I think, making those hits happen in his 90. Although, I think maybe Refuse to Die picks up on this with the damage he took. It's a little bit of a low roll. Looking at that 1390, what's he sitting at?
Bagkins, he's at 580.
580. Oh, he took a lot of hits. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I'm not sure. Maybe he picks up on the 90, but with that, Chronic Pain's going to be able to reload very quickly. The 90 has a very short reload relative to the 100 mil on a 5100, and it puts out comparable damage. You can still destroy an IS-3 before you have to reload. Works out. Refuse to Die though.
Look at the actual spread of Refuse to Die here. We got 2 lights over in the city side, 1 heavy in this structure side, and the rest are in this courtyard section. They're just not all together as a team. They do have good map coverage, but they don't have the damage output that if one of these tanks gets isolated, it's not going to be good. Let me jump over to Valkyrie Bios in the T-32. He's trying to get past this, behind this rubble. So he's still way more exposed than he wants to be. But
Yeah,
nothing
not the
yet,
best
nothing spotted.
position.
No, it really isn't.
He's pretty much in low ground, and he's kind of got some kind of hold down, but
I mean, you have like right here is okay.
from that exact
From
angle,
this
he's
exact
safe.
angle, it's fine. But once you get here, just aim for the hole.
It's easy. He's just got it angled down too to catch
Boom.
shells.
Welcome to hell. Well, yeah,
That does look pretty intimidating now.
it is. I mean,
Well, Lazarus, in the meantime, has moved his way back to the east, and he may start spotting. We may see that T-32 take some fire, as maybe Lazarus sends himself down the 0 line with cover from the Sperglords. Makes a lot of sense at this point.
well, Colonel Angus, T-69, again, they're waiting. They're waiting to find out what Sperglords is going to do. And they know they're in the Delta Village. Sperglords doesn't have to move at all. They could draw this out if they want. Again, there's a possible strategy. You don't want to play that way. You don't have the mentality of it, but
But Clutch, what's happening in the west? I see 3 light tanks. There's only one. Those are both 1390s probably.
Oh.
And with that, we could see counter-cap pressure once this push begins. Sperglords is going to have a rough time if they make a huge push, because Refuse to Die is ready to actually counter-cap.
that's true. But yeah,
They find the 416
They're cruising around in the city.
and the T-32. Valkyrie Belwest and Foster Kid are spotted. Valkyrie's down to 562. Looks like someone may be coming in looking for those shots.
Lozaris.
Wall hacks,
Still
looking
spotted.
for it. He does target the IS-3. Blind fire goes out. They do not have that T-32 spotted. How's he looking?
He's looking okay, except taking a lot of damage, and he's stuck between 2 buildings. Look at how the T-32
He's doing fine.
fits right between here.
He's doing good.
Another example of this tank having no cons. It can fit in beside urban structures.
I think most tanks actually could have fit there.
Yeah, probably.
There's plenty of space left on the side.
Right
I
out the
think
mouse.
an IS-3 could fit just
Mouse
fine.
probably can.
So could it fit to 100. But they don't have the gun depression to take advantage of this like
That's
a T-32.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Look at that. Look at that depression.
Yeah.
Boom.
So potent. So American.
So depressed. Pack of kittens. 580 again, taking some hits earlier on in the match, earlier on in the battle, but they don't see anything here, and now they're in a good position to go for the flag cap. They got a T1 right next to it. Is he going to jump on board?
Smart move.
Creepy Crawley.
Phonon doesn't
Yeah,
spot
he
him.
does.
He's sitting back. Maybe a 1390's covering, waiting for that to happen. Oh, Phonon knocks down a tree, betraying his position. And I'm expecting to see fire come in a moment. 1390's
3
probably
tanks will be
trained
on,
the position.
on top. And they have to get there in 25 seconds. And Chronic Pain taking some hits.
Phonon.
T1 firing against Phonon. Phonon falls from a pack of kittens. 17 seconds left. Now Sperglords has to move quickly to get to the north, and they're moving their tanks as fast as they can. Does Valkyrie Vios have a shot? The T-32, no. He's too far back and too
Not going to
low
happen. That's a
behind
cap
ground.
victory. Going to Refuse to Die. No, the wall hacks can't get back soon enough. Lazarus can't even get back soon enough. 1-0. Blind fire. No connections.
And that's it. Win for Refuse to Die. Tying up the series 1-1, bringing us into a best-of-1 scenario.
Yeah.
Well, they went for the flag cap. It was completely open, and they had complete control on the city side that allowed them to have that type of coverage. GG.
GG. That's it. That's not much to say. Not even much of a fight happened. We didn't get to see if the 90 mil on the 5100 came into play, made a huge effect. Maybe it did. Maybe, I don't know. Not much to say about it.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. We come back. Battle number 5 in this best-of-5 series of the Sperglords versus Refuse to Die. Stay tuned. You're watching the Gold League for World of Tanks. Welcome back to the Gold League for World of Tanks. It is time for battle number 5, Sperglords versus Refuse to Die. We're currently in the take selection process. The map will be Prohorovka. Again, a map that we see longer, drawn-out firefights.
Sometimes.
Sometimes being about 75% of the time. Usually comes down to getting the flanks or the isolations on a 3 against 2 in the middle section, but we have seen some teams effectively use that east side as cover to move into a different area and cause some disruption to the hold-down positions, to the no-man land scenario in Prohorovka, causing one of the teams to push and go for a victory.
I really like watching the north-south, though, when teams square off that way, and then someone will make that one-line push, daring push, but if you make it work and your opponent's not in the quite right positions, you can find yourself in a pretty comfortable lead. Although, of course, it does slow down a lot. A lot of teams are not willing to take the risk to take the bowl position early. I mean, it is risky. You have to often pay for it, especially if you wait a while to do it. Can take it early on, maybe send a 1390 or two, but opening scout runs are very important. What the intel that they grab, it gets you a little bit. You can probably make your attack happen faster the more intel you get once you find out your opponent's positions, where they're going, because not knowing is going to delay your battle by like a whole 3 minutes just to figure out what their strat is.
That's right. That's right. You have to access the information, assess the information, and then move quickly. Because when you hesitate, that's when you reach these scenarios where these draws are happening.
Yep.
It's time for battle number 5 in Prohorovka. Let's battle.
Looking at the tanks, we see T-32, Object 416, and 3 1390s for the side of Sperglords. Refuse to Die is going to bring a 416 themselves and bring 2 Pershings to counter that T-32, and they'll also have 2 1390s. Expect that hull down game. Can the T-32 win, though? He's got the 105 and nice huge hatch, which, as you guys are seeing now more and more, I think the players are getting so good at making the hatch shots. They are getting incredible at it. Trying to square off against a professional player in a Pershing on a hull down is a recipe for death, because they will pen that hatch more than you will, just making the shots consistently.
And that is the weak point of a hold down tank. You want to aim for that commander hatch.
Yeah. There's generally a weak point on most tanks. Somewhere in the turret.
When you're thinking of a hold down position, like how can I possibly return fire once they've already shot at my teammates? What do? You go up, you aim for the commander's hatch.
Yep.
That's what you need to do. All right.
There are armored hatches, though, on a lot of Chinese tanks. There are armored hatches, so they can be really tricky. Also, I think a few British tanks can be deceptive in that some of their hatches are actually armored. I'm thinking of the Tier 9 Heavy. Is it the British one? I can't remember what the name of it is right now. It's got a troll hatch. It looks like it has this big hatch on top of it, and I try to pen it, but then you're like, oh wait, that's actually armored.
Oh.
It's a lie.
Well, I'm checking out where Hired Gun is in the T1. He's hiding behind a railroad car. It's currently on fire. Quasar is in the Delta 1.
Go back to that T1 real
quadrant.
quick.
Sure.
Is
Hired Gun.
yeah. That's a nice little comfy campfire.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he's got it looks like, you got some hobos in there. Maybe come in, give him a can of beans, be like, what's up?
Oh, come on. One of these T1 Cunninghams have got to have some spam.
Yeah. I mean, it's everywhere.
Spiced ham. Yeah. Well,
Spam,
as he enjoys that fire, Quasar is enjoying poison ivy right now. As he's hiding in the bush. And looking at the rest of the position for Refuse to Die, this is going to be some east side play coming out of the 1390s, and Hired Gun jumping over there too, since there's nothing to the north that's been spotted. Anubis, he's holding down on the Pershing. Shots fired towards not towards Laws.
Oh, wow, look at this 1-2 line push may be in store. Phonon's going up to lead the way. Wallhacks and Chronic Pain will be joining. There goes the T1. They've taken a hit, but here come Wallhacks and Chronic Pain. Quasar will go down. 2 shots, I think, wasted to kill him. Deep strike here by 2 1390s with a medium covering them. System Rename is moving up after covering Laws will take the pit. Now Candyman will have rear shots on a Pershing. Valkyrie Wewa is also coming in. Foster Kid takes hits.
Really good movement from Wallhacks and Chronic using the ditch type area next to the road as they move to the north, but now Wallhacks almost down to 87. Anubis falls first.
But look at this. Wallhacks getting blocked for, but someone else takes him down. Pershing, though, will go down at 72 hit points. Chronic may have the shot, and if not him, Lazarus.
Colonel Angus on the chase. 2 tanks remain that can do damage. That's Colonel Angus and a bag of kittens against what's left of the Sperglords, which is a lot. 4 heavy tanks, or 4 tier 8 tanks, excuse me, and 1 low tractor, it looks like. Or is that a T1?
Yep. Now Colonel Angus, though, is getting free shots on a Chronic. Not free, never mind. System Rename makes him pay for it. And they're just going to keep juking around, getting the shots. Chronic gets tracked, but that's not a lot of damage.
Chronic aims another shot in Colonel Angus. Oh, Chronic's got this.
Oh,
Last
Chronic's
hit.
lost his commander,
but he
is
gets it.
able to get
This is 1 T1 versus a bag of kittens. Or still on the same team as bag of kittens, not
on
anymore.
the move shot. By
Nice
Lazarus.
shot on the move. Hired Gun last one alive. T1. Sperglords looks like they're going to be able to win this best of 5 series in battle number 5. Nice push. Nice play. Get that divided force again by having the 2 1390s going north.
Right gun spotted. Takes some hits from a T1. Candyman lines up the shot at range. Does not connect.
Ooh, it's a miss. RJ falls. And that's it. Sperglords takes the series 2-1.
Well played, Sperglords. I like that push. Very early push, caught their opponent off guard. Two 1390s were not in position to support. And I want to look at that 416. Oh, never mind, not look at the 416, look at the T32. Candyman with the 105 putting out 1,779 damage. 6 for 8. System rename, 6 for 9 shots. Puts out 1,600. Lazarus does a good job too. Only getting to fire 5 shots though. And 2 other 1390s putting out a lot of damage. Not actually putting out as much damage as they'd like. But on the other side, a Bag of Kittens tries what he can, but only gets about 1,000. Everyone else really not able to do it. Anubis getting focused really well. And Valkyrie Vewas also focused really well. Because those 2 Pershings went down, a lot of the consistent fire was eliminated early in that fight. The tanks with burst came in, but they don't have enough burst to deal with all of that. Just not enough. Sperglords, I like that push. It's a good move.
Very good move indeed. And again, it comes down to the isolation. And I don't mean just a single tank, but if you could have tanks focusing on 2 tanks up to north, which they had, taking fire from behind, the tanks from a distance.
Yeah.
It was really, really good play, really good play. All right, well, that does it for our first half of the show tonight. It's time for our halftime break. When we come back, our series continues. First off, with Top Tier versus Hammer Time. Following them, it will be #RU versus Pubstars. Or no, following them will be Googly Boppers versus River of Blood.
Yep.
And after that is #RU versus the Pubstars.
There you go.
All right, we'll take that break right now. Stay tuned. The Gold League will continue.